Veteran Salute, sponsored by Devon James Injury Lawyers.
With McKinsey, I'm David. Welcome back. Their journey began in the military in the 1960s.
And not even war could separate these brothers. 27 News reporter Matthew Johnstone introduces us to Jim and Ernie in tonight's Veteran Salute.
For Ernie and Jim Gerhardt, serving their country was a family affair. Neither one knew it when they first enlisted, but fate and the U.S. government would bring them together again while serving overseas. When the 60s were coming to a close, the Vietnam era was knocking at the Gerhardt brothers' door.
Back in 1966, when I joined, it was either join or get drafted. You didn't have a lot of choices back in those days. The draft was staring everyone in the face when they got out of high school, pretty much.
The brothers signed up for the National Guard around the same time, then would join the same unit in Horton, Kansas. There, they would become involved with the artillery team until being assigned overseas separately.
It was a little scary going as an individual replacement. You weren't going with anyone you knew. You were, sent over by yourself. Didn't know where you were going when you got in country and so on, but somehow or other it all worked out to where we ended up together in the same fire base.
I happened to be in base camp at the time. My howitzer was in for repairs, and I was actually in the mess hall, and the battery clerk came and said, "I think there's somebody here you might know," and there was Jim. So that's how we met in Vietnam.
They didn't stay apart long. They ended up at the same base and worked together constantly. Jim would receive the firing data and report it to the base piece, who just so happened to be Ernie.
They were set up in a star position with him in the middle, and as the base piece, he was the one that got the commands directly from fire direction, and when I was on duty, that was me talking to him.
While they had peace working together on the same base as a family, it didn't take away from the brutality of the war.
We were getting a lot of incoming mortars and some sniper fire and stuff every night. You could just count on it, and we was firing a lot of rounds. We
just spent our time basically figuring out the next fire mission, because it was one after another. At one point, we fired 2,155 rounds in a 24-hour period. That's a lot of rounds.
For 6 guns.
Yeah, for 6 guns.
The brothers would spend nearly a full year in Vietnam. We'll learn more about their return stateside and how they're staying involved with the TOPEKA community to this day next week on Veteran Salute. Working for you, Matthew Johnstone, 27 News.
Wow, looks like we got a two-parter coming.
We do. First one.
Yeah, and those two are, what an amazing story.
Yeah,
for
they've
sure.
got some stories to share.
Now, we are highlighting veterans in our community every week, just like Jim and Ernie. So if you'd like to nominate someone for our Veteran Salute segment, go to KSNT.com and click on this story for more.
Plus, as you probably know, every time we do this, the honored veteran, or veterans in this case, receive a gift. Take a look.
On behalf of Devon James Injury Lawyers, we're honored to recognize 2 veterans this week, brothers Ernie and James Gerhardt, who served our country in the Vietnam War. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your service, and we're excited to present each of you with a check for $500.
We are donating these checks to the Museum of the National Guard. Thank you.